All right, Shalom. Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, all honor, and all glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rachakwadash. I'd also like to give double honors to my elders and apostles at Great Millstone that do root well. And I would like to say peace and salutations to the Lord's elect, the hopeful elect in the 1/3. And Lord's will, this lesson will be edifying as well as exhorting to the sincere sheep of Yahweh, Bashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rachakwadash. And Tawada, Abanawa Yahweh Bashem El Shai, for giving me the inspiration to do this lesson. And as the title reads, some history on Cain and his wickedness. All right. So I was reading a little bit of Genesis, the 4th chapter, and the commentary in the blue letter, which then led me to reading a little bit of commentary from the Josephus, which I'll read from the Josephus from time to time. It has bones in it, so, we understand making of many books, there is no end, but I did find some information in the Josephus that is back biblically, okay? And we also see the characteristics that are noted for Cain is same in comparison when you read about Esau, okay? And if you didn't know, Esau Edom is Cain in the reincarnation, okay? And when you look at it, we were Abel, all right, but then Cain murdered Abel, and hence why Seth is mentioned, and this is where you see recorded men began to call on the name of the Lord. All right, so pretty much I just want to go into a little bit of information, and Lord's will, it'll be edifying to the body, to the brothers and a few sincere sisters. All right. So if you didn't know, Cain has been reincarnated into Esau. All right. Which Cain goes into Quina, if I'm not mistaken, which means traveling weapon. All right. So let's see. So where do we want to begin? Okay. We could start at verse 1. But what I would like to do is I'd like to delve into the information I came across, which is right around in this section. So let's see. So let's start at verse 16. Okay. Now this is after Cain murdered his brother Abel, just the same way that Esau attempted to murder his brother Jacob. This is Genesis 4:16. And Cain went out from the presence of Yahweh Bashem El Shai and dwelt in the land of Nod on the east of Eden. Now this word Nod means wandering. Let's just do this real quick. The word Nod, it goes into the word, wandering. All right, the land to which Cain fled and wandered after the murder of Abel. See? So let's just keep going down, all right, because I got some more information. And it says, check this out. It says, and Cain knew his wife, and she conceived and bare Enoch. So ultimately, Cain had 4 sons, all right, and, we really don't hear too much about them. But right after in Genesis 6, after hundreds and hundreds of years, okay, you see how it said the wickedness of man was, multiplied on the earth. But you have to understand that man was introduced to evil through Cain, okay, just like Eve was introduced to evil through the serpent. All right, so Esau introduced the earth to wickedness as well. This is why he's introduced the world to the customs of the Babylonians, Nineveh, the Queen of Heaven, you name it. This is where Esau gets his power source from. All right, Isaiah 47 comes to mind. All right, so let's just keep those. Let's keep those thoughts and those precepts as we're reading this now. It says, and bare Enoch and builded a city. So now he's built himself his own city after getting kicked out. Okay. Now, what I actually would like to do is go right into this. So this is the Josephus right here. Let me see. So right here, I'm in I'm going to chapter 2, Flavius Josephus of the Antiquities of the Jews. And like I said, there's sometimes you'll find bones. So, you just be careful with what you're reading. But when I was reading this, I made sure to go into the scriptures to verify. So when you go into it, it says, and when Cain had traveled over many countries, he and his wife built a city named Nod, which is a place so called, and there he settled his abode, where he also had children. However, he did not accept, excuse me, however, real quick, it says, however, he did not accept of his punishment in order to amendment. Now, this word amendment means correction. Okay, when you look this word amendment up, it actually means correction. Just like it says in the Apocrypha, the Lord sent scourges, famines as amendments, meaning as correction, but people aren't listening. All right, see, amendment means better improvement, correction. Okay, so just like Esau, just like Cain, all right, Cain couldn't be corrected. Okay, like Esau cannot be corrected. You see, that which is crooked cannot be made straight. So we're witnessing and seeing the characteristics of Cain even after being noted as the first murderer. When you actually look up, okay, when you look up who was the first murderer on earth, who was the first, first murderer in the world. Let's not use that. Look, when you put up who's the first murderer in the world, what comes up is Cain. You see that? The first person that comes up as a murderer, look at that, is Cain. Okay, and that's who today? Esau. All right, Esau, Edom. Okay, so I'm building something up right here, so just bear with me. All right, we're gonna jump from the scriptures to the Josephus, compare and contrast, and showing you the commentary. Because what the Josephus is doing is it's kind of going in between the lines of what we're reading. All right, just like how you go to Wisdom of Solomon 17 to read what happened in the 3 days of darkness in Egypt. Okay, so check this out. So already we're seeing the characteristics of Cain in his mindset when he got cast away. All right. So he did not accept his punishment in order to be corrected, right? But to increase his wickedness. So what Cain did was he was in the mindset of a full-time demon mode. Okay. He was in the spirit to be a full-time demon, which Romans comes to mind. Because what I would like to do is use precepts pertaining to Esau to back up biblically what's being stated for Cain. Okay. So let's go to Romans 9, and I believe it's 21 right here. Okay. So this is speaking about Jacob and Esau, right? But we understand that the story or the information and history of Cain and Abel is what we're witnessing today with what? Jacob and Esau. Because remember, Cain was the eldest, like Esau is the eldest. It says, has not the potter power over the clay of the same lump to make one vessel unto honor and another unto dishonor? So what we're reading is the mindset and the actions of a dishonorable vessel named and noted as Cain, who we now know is also here today ruling as Esau. But when we keep reading, you're going to see that Cain was a great leader to the people. So Cain wasn't just chilling. All right, because the Bible doesn't tell us that Cain died off, or that what happened to him. That's why people bug out and they go to other books. Don't go to Jubilee. Don't be doing that. Just stay in the Bible. Okay, we know in part, so we prophesize in part. So we do use information like this to further edify on the doctrine that has been given, and then that's it. All right, we're not here trying to add or take away. We're just bringing out information pertaining to this wholesome doctrine that's been given us. Okay. Now, mind you, we're still in Genesis 4 and 17. And we're going to go down, but this is the information from right here. All right. So watch. And it's going to also explain why Lamech said what he said. And it's a good read. It's a good read. So it says, but to increase his wickedness, because he's a dishonorable vessel. Oh, just like when wickedness increased in the earth when Esau got in rulership. So what we're reading is we're gonna find out how wickedness increased in the earth after Cain got banished. Okay, because the garden, all right, this was the time of the Pangea before the flood. It was a paradise. It was kingdom of heaven on earth. Okay, and real quick, this is let me see. Where do I want this? We could start at 1, but I don't want to start at 1. I just want to get to the point right here. Okay. First Maccabees 1-9. After Philip from Chittim came Alexander, the son of Philip, who is Alexander the so-called Great. And then he defeated the Persians. So I'm fast forward. I'm going back. So we're going from ancient to past and to present. Okay. But like verse 9. Okay. I hope I'm not going too fast. So let's start at 7. So Alexander reigned 12 years, then died, and his servants bare rule, every one in his place. And after his death, they all put crowns upon themselves. So did their sons after them many years, just like Cain. Cain had sons, and his sons were wicked as hell, just like Esau. Esau had sons, and his sons are wicked as hell. Look at Amalek. Look at Eliphaz. Okay. Look at Cain. Look at Lamech. Okay. Look at Alexander the Great. Look at his generals. Their sons after many years, and evils were multiplied in the earth. See that? So evils were multiplied when Esau got back into power after defeating the Persians. Evils were multiplied when Cain got banished and he started influence man. Okay. So this is evils were multiplied when Esau got independence from Britain. Okay. So we see the same characteristics, and we see it in history, past, present, okay, and even now in our near future. It's about to get real evil when Esau is going to be used to implement this mandatory marking, okay? Didn't Cain get a mark? Well, what was that mark? To be a clean leopard, all right? So is not Esau going to try to put a mark over mankind? Absolutely. That's prophecy, all right? So we see this evil, vengeful spirit of Cain, just like we see it on Esau. Okay, so let's keep going. And it says, look at this. It says, however, he did not accept of his punishment in order to be corrected. We found out that word amendment means corrected, but to increase his wickedness, just like we seen with Alexander the Great and his generals and sons, just like we see with Esau and the position of power he's in right now. It says, for he only aimed to procure everything that was for his own bodily pleasure. So this is what the Josephus is saying, that Cain, this is the spirit Cain was in, okay? But this is the same spirit Esau's in. He's all about what? The flesh. This is why James, well, let's do First John. Actually, let's do First John. James is a good one, but First John sums it up. This is why we see this vibration today. Who is leading the charge of the fun festival flesh? All right, Esau. Was that First John 2:15? It says, love not the world, neither the things that are in the world. Why can't we love the world right now? Oh man, oldie but goldie. Job, where are we at? 9:24. Why can't we love the present world right now? Job 9:24. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. Cain, when he was on the scene, he had dominion. Okay, he had Greeks, they had dominion. The Romans, they had dominion. Babylon, they have dominion. And we look and see how the world is operating in the mindset that people are in under the rulership of this spirit of Esau. It says, the earth was given into the hand of the wicked. He covered the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? Exactly. If it isn't Esau, then who is it? Why would the Moabites cover the faces of the judges and then paint them to look like Edomites? So when Esau caused iconoclasm during the Renaissance, which was the rebirth of the Edomite power structure on earth, right? That's when the earth was given to him. He covered the faces to make them look like his. First Maccabees 3:48. They opened the book of the law where the heathen Greeks sought to paint the likeness of their images. So when Esau covers up something and he turns it into a lie so that the lie benefits him, what he's doing is he's leaving his carbon footprint. He's leaving his fingerprint at the scene of the crime. Okay. That's what he's doing. So he's really exposing himself when he tries to turn truth into a lie, because he created a lie to benefit him. All right. So keep going. It says, oh, I'm sorry. First John still. It says, love not the world, neither the things that are in the world. If any man love the world, the love of the Father is not in him. Why? For all that is in the world, the lust of the flesh. Why is it the lust of the flesh? Because Cain is in rulership. Cain being who? Esau. And he wants to procure, aid everything that was for his own bodily pleasure. So Cain was a sicko, all right? He was sick, and his sons too, all right? And I believe I was reading basically the line of Cain. They had a spirit on him where he wanted to populate the world with nothing but him, okay? And that's a thing Esau has an issue with now is procreation, all right? Adding himself and multiplying his seed on earth. That's what he's trying to do. He's trying to multiply himself on earth. All right. It says, procure everything that was for his own bodily pleasure. Now, real quick, let's just look up this word procure, just so we have an understanding. Procure, obtain, especially with care. So he cared only for everything that was for his own bodily pleasure. Nasty. He's nasty. It says, for all that is in the world, the lust of the flesh and the lust of the eyes and the pride of life is not of the Father, but is of the world, but is of Cain, but is of Esau. See, this is the vibration that's out here right now under the powers that be. You wonder why all these social medias have nothing but women in bikinis and bras and ass and shaking and drinking. This is all by design because he wants to Hellenize you. He wants to Canaanite you. You know, he wants to turn you into a Cainite. You know, it says, and the world passes away. The rulership of these heathen world passes away, and the lust thereof. But he that doeth the will of Yahweh abideth forever. Right, like Noah. Why did Noah find grace? Because under the government and rulership of Seth's lineage came out Noah, and Noah found grace in the eyes of the Lord because he turned from wickedness. I was actually reading, like I said, it's not, you can't find it in the scriptures, but even in the Josephus, it states that basically Noah, they wanted to kill Noah because he wasn't with the wickedness. But that's like today. So you can see how these scenarios could have possibly played out because we look at it today. They locked Jeremiah up. They stoned the prophets. He that rebuketh in a gate, they abhor him. Lot was vexed with the filthy conversation. So what we're dealing with today, we have to look back at our forefathers like Noah, okay, Shem, all right, and they had to deal with these things, okay? You see? So it's a very beautiful story. Check this out. Little children, it is the last time, and as ye have heard, that anti-Hamashiach shall come. Even now are there many anti-Hamashiachs, whereby we know that is the last time. Right. And remember, Yahweh Shai said it would be as the days of Noah. So in the days of Noah was also what? Cain's lineage. All right. The vibration that Cain pushed, the doctrine, the teaching, the lifestyle, that was all on the scene before the flood, just like now. Okay. So let's keep going. We're still in Genesis as well. It says, though it obliged him to be injurious to his neighbors, right? Revelations 18. All right. Because this word injurious, let's look this up. So to be injurious to your neighbor means what? Let's put this right here. Paste. Injurious means harmful. Okay. Hurtful. Oh, did not Esau in Numbers? He said we couldn't pass through his land. Esau told Moses he couldn't enter his land. Just a sec. I know my spelling. Yep, Numbers 20. See? Oh, no. Is that not? Let me go here. Let me see. No, that's not the one I want. Esau. Well, let's just put this. Esau. Let's just do it like this. I think it's, is it Numbers 20? Just give me a minute. I got it right here in my scriptures. But Esau came out against Israel. Let's just put that. Yep, here it goes. Thank you, Yahweh Shai. Numbers 20:21. Thus Edom refused to give Israel passage through his border, wherefore Israel turned away from him. And do you know some history Because Esau told us no, we had to go through the land of Ammon, and then we ended up going to war with Ammon. And then years later, Ammon came up against us because we went to war, and we had to say, wait a minute, Esau made us do this. We wasn't trying to fight and that and da-da-da. But because our own brother told us no, we had to go the long way to get home, and we ended up fighting your ass on the way. Excuse my language. So you see, Esau, a lot of the things he's done, we've gotten more enemies because he wasn't a brother. Okay, so that he's getting judgment for that too. Amos, the first chapter tells you that. So now that we got that point out the way, real quick, let's go back to this. It says, injurious to his neighbors, just like Esau was injurious to who? His neighbor, and one of his neighbors was what? His brother Jacob. It says he augmented his household substance with much wealth. Psalm 73, much wealth. Psalm 73. Okay. So when you're reading, when you're going over the reading of Cain, and it just says, not just he says, but he killed his brother, and then he kind of fades away. You have to have the vision of the lifestyle that was taking place in the times of Noah and before Noah was born, and while Cain and his family was on the scene. Because I didn't even get to his sons yet. We're just talking about the daddy right now. Okay. Habakkuk's a good one too. Let me get that right here. Psalm 73 and 7. Their eyes stand out with fatness. They have more than heart could wish. Just what? Don't we use this for Esau? Habakkuk 2. Okay. And what? And then also Cain. This is history on Cain and his wickedness as we live and see with Esau's history and his wickedness. Okay. As it says, nothing new under the sun. Nothing new. Ecclesiastes 1. What's that? 9. Real quick. Ecclesiastes 1 and 9, the thing that has been, Cain, is that which shall be, Esau, and that which is done is that which shall be done, and there's no new thing under the sun. So Esau, you ain't doing nothing new, okay? You ain't doing nothing new. This is why Ecclesiastes 12 and 13 says the whole duty of us is to serve Yahweh, B'Shem Yahushai, just like Adam did, just like Abel did, just like Seth did, just like the men before after him did. Okay, we come from the lineage of Seth because we were supposed to come from the lineage of Abel, but Cain did away with Abel. Okay, and that hence why he's trying to do away with Jacob now, so that he can say, "I'm the Jew. I'm it. I'm the one. Everyone else is gone. You can only use me now." So continuing on. It says much wealth. Look at this. Now, how did he get his wealth? By rapine and violence. Now, the word rapine, look at this. The word rapine, give me a sec. Look at this word. All right. Rapine definition. Look, the violent seizure of someone's property. Wait a minute. The violent seizure of someone's property sounds just like Micah, where is it? Micah 2. Just give me a minute. Hold on. Rapine and violence. Woe to them that devise iniquity, like Cain, and work evil upon their bed, Esau. When the morning is light, they practice it, agendas, crafty counsel, because it is in the power of their hand, Job 9 and 24, and they covet fields, right? And take them by violence. How did Esau get Mount Seir from the Horites? With violence. And take them by, how did Esau get Babylon? By violence. Woe to you that establish a city by bloodshed and iniquity. Man, let me grab that real quick too. Habakkuk 2 and 12. Woe to him that buildeth a town with blood and establish a city by iniquity. Cain did that. The Greeks did that. And Esau's done that and doing it. And they're continuing. They want to establish a new world order by bloodshed and inequity, because that's what it's going to take for them to attempt this new order for the world, is going to be by bloodshed and inequity. And they covet fields and take them by violence, and houses and take them away. So they oppress a man and his house, even a man and his heritage. Look, and there's more. There's so much more. Okay. And this is just for Cain. It says he excited his acquaintance Psalms 83, to procure pleasure and spoils by robbery. Revelations 18. Let me grab that. Man, this is breaking Esau down to the T. So we have to now, with reading this, and when we envision Cain, we literally just have to look at Esau. Just look at what Esau's doing and say that's what they were doing back then. Revelations 18:3. He enticed and excited his acquaintances, right? For all nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication, and the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her. See? Now watch, it gets better. It says, he excited his acquaintance to procure pleasure and spoils by robbery, and became a great leader of men into wicked courses. Is that not Esau in Babylon today? For all nations have drunk of her wine, of the wrath of her fornication, and the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her, and the merchants of the earth are waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacies. Esau's done that today as Cain did it yesterday. Okay, Esau's doing it today as Cain did it back then. You see? Now it says, watch this. He also introduced a change in that way of simplicity wherein men lived before. Now, immediately what comes to mind is Genesis, the 3rd chapter, because Cain is also that serpent. Genesis 3:1. Now the serpent, this word serpent means an enchanter, a witch. Okay, it's not means a literal snake, because you go to the etymology of the word serpent, it goes into an enchanter, someone who practiced divination. So he was like a warlock. Okay, he was into the left hand knowledge. All right, look at this. Now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field which Yahweh Bashim Shai power had made. Now the beasts are representing men, all right, or if you will, other nations. And he was more craftier than them. It says, which the powers had made. And he said unto the woman, yea, has the Most High said, ye should not eat of every tree of the garden? So notice how the serpent introduced or took advantage of the simplicity of men, like Cain took advantage of the simplicity of men, like Esau takes advantage of the simplicity of man. Okay, do you see that? He's always using your natural design against you, because you say, I promise I won't do that. So then because you won't break a promise, he will make that same statement with the mindset to break the promises. Okay, look at he's what was that old Gadite show when he said your government will provide for you? He said, how'd you get this land? Did you buy for it? Did you trade for it? He said, it's not like that. See, because Esau is that dishonorable vessel, and he takes advantage of you, just like he takes advantage of the simplicity of our women. Okay, and it says he also right here. He also introduced a change in that way of simplicity wherein men lived before, like now. Look at the way people conduct themselves now, okay? This is why it's not only the days of Noah, but also the days of Lot, okay? It's very disturbing how he's ushered man into this fleshful lifestyle, and they find it to be pleasing and beneficial for them, but it's all wickedness. Look at this. And was the author of measures and weights, taxes, and whereas they lived innocently and generously while they knew nothing of such arts, he changed the world into cunning craftiness. See that? He changed the world into cunning craftiness. Look at that, man. Is that not what Esau did? Didn't it not say that Esau is a cunning hunter? Genesis 25 and 27, if I'm not mistaken. So you can see the compare and contrast, or the parallels of Cain and Esau. And all we need is the scriptures. All we need is the scriptures to give the characteristics of Cain. But what I did like in the short read I did of the Josephus is how it was breaking down what Cain was doing, and what he was doing is what we see Esau doing. Genesis 25 and 27, and the boys grew, and Esau was a cunning hunter, a man of the field, and Jacob was a plain man dwelling in tents. And let me just say this for edification real quick. The word plain means righteous, and the tents means the tents of Yahweh. Okay. So it don't mean that we're just chilling in the house playing Madden. Okay. But when you go into this word plain, I just want to show you real quick. It means a righteous man. See, plain meaning perfect, complete, sound, wholesome, morally innocent. And then the word tent means the tabernacle of Yahweh. Okay. See, the sacred tents of Yahweh. Okay. So that's like a priesthood. So Jacob was as a priest, if you will, because he was morally innocent and he abode in the tabernacles of Yahweh. All right. And he understood about the firstborn rights as well. Okay. So I just wanted to make that quick point. So now that we got that, let's just read a little bit more. All right. We're still in Genesis 4. Okay. Which let me see if I can go back to that real quick. Well, let's just put it right here. Go back to Genesis 4. This is just the little information because it even goes into his lineage as well. Okay, so just bear with me. So going back to Cain. Okay, see, he knew his wife. So we're right here. We're in verse 17. But I do want to get to Lamech, but I don't want to make this too long. So let me try to be quick with my words here. So let's read a little bit more. I mean, I feel the point's already been made. All right. So look, he first of all set boundaries in the lands, territories. He built a city and fortified it with walls. He compelled his family to come together. All right. And now here goes his sons, right? His sons, right here. You had some sons that were into music. He also had sons that were into making weaponry. All right. Like the wise men of Teman. All right. Then you got his one son, Tubal. I'm kind of just skimming through it. So let's just read real quick. It says, but Jubal, who was born of the same mother with him, exercised himself in music. So Esau's into music too. I ain't saying he that good at it, but he's into music too. It says, and invented the psaltery and the harp, but which this is actually right here too. When you go into it, look. When you actually go into it, you be like, what? Yeah, look. One of Cain's sons, and his brother's name was Jubal. He was the father of all such as handled the harp and organ. So Esau has the ability to play music as well. Okay. It says she also bare Tubal Cain, an instructor, every artificer in brass and iron. See, and the sister of Tubal Cain was Naamah, and Lamech said unto his wives. So now we're getting to Lamech because Tubal Cain. To me, I speak as a man. He's kind of like in the spirit of Teman, the wise men of Teman, and because remember the Temanites are who are helped fulfill the prophecy in Isaiah 54, where it says they blow up the coal, they make it the instrument and the waster to destroy. Well, that was under Project Paperclip. All right, those were Edomites, but they were artificers, right, of brass and iron too. See. So now I'm just trying to get to the meat of the matter now. All right. Now check this out. I want to show you Lamech real quick, his wicked ass. Now check this out. I also got the commentary of him in the blue letter. But where are we at? Yep. Okay. Look at this. It said, but Tubal, one of his children by the other wife, exceeded all men in strength and was very expert and famous in martial performances. Yeah, war like men. Okay. The red horse. Matter of fact, let's snag that. Revelation 6, Rev 6. Right here. Rev 6 and 4, the red horse. And there went out another horse that was red, and power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth, and that they should kill one another, and there was given unto him a great sword. See? The red horse being who? Esau. But we see these same characteristics of this red horse upon who? Cain and his lineage. So when you read this, really what we should say is, damn, Cain's line was wilding. They was tripping, but as they should. And it says, now watch this. It says he procured what tended to the pleasures of the body by that method, and first of all invented the art of making brass. Lamech, who right here, Lamech, right? It says Lamech was also the father of a daughter whose name was Naamah, and because he was so skillful in matters of divine revelations, Isaiah 47, labored from thy youth, because you gotta, if you understand that the serpent was a man who was an enchanter, but that same spirit came back as who? Cain, then we also have to understand that Cain and his lineage, they delved into the left-hand side as well. So it makes sense that Lamech was into that knowledge, because he was interested in the left-hand side, because he's a vessel of dishonor. All right, Isaiah 47 and look, Isaiah 47 and 8. Therefore, hear now this, thou that are given to pleasures. Wait a minute. Didn't it say that they were into the pleasure? Look, he procured what tended to the pleasures of the body by that method. See? But then also, he was into what? Divine revelations. How do you get divine revelations? Well, they go through the left-hand side. So that he was into all types of witchcraft and idolatry and astrology. This is what Lamech was into. Okay, so he was a spiritual man on the left-hand side, like you have today. You got Edomites and Shedamites that are into astrology, idolatry, numerology, all that tree stuff, because they got the tree of good and evil. See? And it says, look at this. And because he was so skillful in the divine matters, why? Because right here it says, therefore hear now this, thou that are given to pleasures, that dwellest carelessly, that saith in thy heart, I am, and none else beside me. I shall not sit as a widow, neither shall I know the loss of children. But that's what's going to happen. Okay. Right here it says, but these two things shall come upon thee in a moment, in one day, the loss of children and widowhood. Hey, that happened in the time of Noah with the flood. All right, at one day you lost everything. Just like now, it's going to happen one day at a certain time, hour, month, day, year. You're going to understand this loss, because this is what it's talking about. It's talking about now. All right, during the third woe, they shall come upon thee in their perfection, the missiles, for the multitude of thy sorceries and for the great abundance of thy enchantment. See this? So this is talking about Esau today. But what we see is Cain and his lineage, they have the same characteristics back then. Look at this. It says, Lamech, he knew he would be punished for Cain's murder of his brother. Was that Amos? Amos 1 and 11, real quick. Look at all this good information through the Holy Spirit. Amos 1 and 11, thus saith Yahweh Shem El Shai, for 3 transgressions of Edom, and for 4, I will not turn away the punishment thereof, because he did pursue his brother with the sword, and did cast off all pity, and his anger did tear perpetually, and he kept his wrath forever. So Lamech knew that they would have to answer for what his forefather did, Cain. It says Lamech knew he was to be punished for Cain's murder of his brother. He made that known to his wives. Look right here. He's making it known to his wives. And Lamech said unto his wives, look what he says, okay, which we can get the study guide on it too. It says, he made known unto his wives, nay, even while Adam was alive, it came to pass that the prosperity of Cain became exceeding wicked, everyone successfully dying one after another, more wicked than the former. The wicked are estranged from the womb. They go about speaking lies. It says they were intolerable in war and vehement in robberies. This is Esau, just like it's Cain. Esau's lineage, Cain's lineage. It says, and if anyone were slow to murder people, yet was he bold in his prolific behavior, in acting unjustly and doing injuries for gain. See that? This is the characteristics that Cain and his lineage had, just like we see the characteristics on Esau and his lineage, and they have. You see that? So, hey, this dude Lamech was a demon. All right, they all were wicked, okay? But you see, as we just read, you might just read this and just think, oh, it's just Cain having children. Oh, just his son had two wives. Oh, he's just playing music. No, they were wicked, man, and they caused the flood. Okay, Genesis 4, then goes to Genesis 5, which Noah's mentioned, and then Genesis 6 right after is all the evil in the earth. So who you think was the progenitor of that evil? Esau. Okay, look, Genesis 6 and 5, and the Most High saw that the wickedness of man was great in the earth. Why? Because Esau was ruling. Cain's vibration was on the earth, and that every imagination of the thoughts of his heart was only evil continually. See? So the Lord had to wipe out Cain, his mindset, his lineage, those that partook in it, just like now. The Lord's going to wipe out Esau, his mindset, his lineage. Oh, Zechariah. Let me grab that real quick. Zechariah, about to wrap it up. Okay, so as that, I said, man, when Yahushua said it'll be as the days of Noah, after reading that, it blew my mind because it gave a more in-depth characteristic of what was going on in the days of Noah, like we see now. Okay, Zechariah 12 and 14, is it? Excuse me, Zechariah 14 and 12. Okay, this is about to happen again, but instead of the flood of water, it'll be a flood of fire. Second Peter tells you that. Zechariah 14 and 12, it says, and this shall be the plague wherewith the Lord will smite all the people that have fought against Jerusalem, like Cain fought against Abel, like Cain fought against Seth, like Esau fights against Jacob, and fought against Jerusalem. Their flesh shall consume away while they stand upon their feet, and their eyes shall consume away in their holes. Meaning what? Not only are they going to be destroyed, but their plans, their agenda, and their visions. Hence why when a Babylonian king is brought into office, it's through an inauguration, which the word augur goes back to Rome, meaning a fortune teller, a foreseer. Okay, let me prove that real quick. Augur. Ancient Romans functionary whose duty was to observe and interpret auspices, a reputed natural science concerning future events. Left-handed prophet. Esau's a left-handed prophet who's trusted in divine revelations from the left-hand side, like the serpent, like Cain, like Esau. Okay? Like serpent, like Cain, like Esau. It says, shall consume away in their holes, and their tongues shall consume away in their mouth, meaning their doctrines, their ideas, their philosophies, their ways of life and temptations that they are using to supplant the simplicity of the creature. We just read that. That's what he was doing. Okay? He literally introduced man that were just living simple, regular lives into wickedness. Look at what women are doing and just natural order things. He's turned disgusting, man. He's turned the natural uses of the creature into very terrible things. He introduced that to the world. He changed right here. He changed the world into cunning craftiness, man. He's a sicko. But the end result, like Cain in the time of the flood, will be the end result of Esau in the time of now and day's judgment. All right. So I believe the point was made. I just had wanted to touch on this topic. I was reading a little bit of Josephus, comparing and contrasting, and I find it very edifying of the history of Cain and how we see those same characteristics on Esau today. So I pray that this lesson was edifying, encouraging, as well as exhorting. And I would like to say, call halal, Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rachakodash. Double honors to my elders and apostles of Great Millstone that do well. Peace and salutations to the Lord's elect. With that being said, shalom.